What's up, guys? This is the coach, Mr. Bond, Mr. Big Overnight. So, I've officially started my mentorship program, the Lion's Den. And we're looking to get young men and who are interested to be a part of this movement. And the reality is that, my life shows that you can bounce back from anything. And I'm accepting offers now. The entry ranges. There's a system in place, but we're not going to go into that, but there is a fee involved. But for today's topic, we're going to talk about something important that men need to focus on, key in on. How do you know if you should marry or if you should never marry a woman you're talking to? So within the dating landscape, and men need a solid woman on their route towards achieving their goals, and I would recommend marriage because it's a great institution despite what society thinks. But for some reason, the landscape, especially in countries like the United States, UK, other westernized countries, they've been under attack, and I understand why. The devil is roaming like a lion, seeking whom he can devour. And we have to just be vigilant and stay prayed up and seek the power of Jesus Christ, despite what people think. And there are many persons who still don't believe that he exists or he's real. That's okay. I'm here to proclaim the power of Jesus. So here are some key indicators I would say to look out for while you're looking at for your future wife. But before we get into it, remember to like, save, share, and comment on the videos, and let's keep this conversation going. So, we all know women want leaders, okay? However, you must assess if this woman is worth being led. And on your route to becoming the man who you're supposed to become, you need to identify these red flags and know how to assess them if she's worth your time. Because some of you men, regardless of what people think, you still want to work with that woman for whatever reason. Maybe she's physically your type or she aligns with some of your goals. So you just have to be willing to know who you're willing to suffer for. And if she still don't want to be led, I can coach you how to deal with that. All right, so first thing is, based on your interactions, is she an argumentative woman? Is she combative for no reason? Men need peace at home or in their own space. You can take on all of the attacks from the world, but when it comes to your little bubble, men need peace. We're not designed to really have this back and forth argument with our personal woman or our future wife. All right, so if she's naturally combative, that's a red flag right there. I tell you why. Because you see, there comes a time when you need to analyze critically various situations that you're dealing with. And if you see that the person just doesn't want to bring peace to your life, then it doesn't make sense to commit long term to that person. All right? So if she finds ways to constantly disrespect you, emasculate you, make you feel less than a man, then you have to question yourself. Does it make sense? Because at the end of the day, men are called to die to protect their woman and to hunt resources for her to build a family. So if you identify that this person is not giving you any peace, constantly arguing, constantly being combative, constantly being disrespectful, that is a huge no-no in my book. Next, look at the ways in which she shows her support and her love for you. You can see a woman, whether she want to fake it or not, you can tell if she's really checking for you. And some women are very good at hiding their manipulative ways. And you have to see if these are some of the things that makes up a good wife. You can accept manipulation to a certain degree. Like, you come home, she rub down your head 2 times, make you feel nice and sweet. and comfortable, fine. Because that is a form of manipulation to get what she wants as a woman. But does she readily make you know that I am thankful for you in my life? I give utmost thanks for everything you've done for me. And she says, thank you for the things you do for her. These are some feminine traits that I identify. Even if she want to fake it till she blue. There's some things that you can tell that she's really checking for you. And you can tell. I don't have to teach you certain little innuendos or behavioral tactics, but you have to identify these things. And by saying, does she only look out for her interests, or does she want to see the betterment of you and your life? If she doesn't identify how you're growing as a man, and is she identifying you as her king, or she even tells you that you're her king, then you definitely need to be careful of that woman. Next, has she understood what you represent as her man? What kind of leader you are? And has she shown that kind of reverence for you? Like, no matter which men come at her, she's just gonna lock in to working with you. And you can tell when a woman have utmost respect for you and your authority. Because if Jesus is the head of the family and the man is the head of the woman and children, she will know that you are worthy to be her ultimate leader, and you can tell. There's certain little things women willing to do, willing to cook and clean, willing to, not allow men to interfere with her, especially in your presence. There are just certain things women are willing to do. So you have to take note of these things as you go along the talking stage, the going out stage. And for me personally, most men will never do this part, So when they get too sexual involved with a woman, it kind of ruins the interaction going forward for the future. I found that every woman I've had sex with, unfortunately, it didn't flourish the way I would like. So that's why me and my fiance, we decided to wait until marriage to have sex. And most men would probably roast me for this, but my father, the pastor, and he did it. And 40 years later, he and my mother are still together, still married. So hey, there's some Christian principles that work. Some Christian principles most men would never do. But I am going through this period, and it's as hurtful as it is. I am working on myself to grow as a man. So if you want to learn more about my methods and ways, feel free to share, comment in the videos, and let's talk about it. Reach out to me, DM me, send me a DM, send me an email, mrbigovernight@gmail.com, or call me, 850-319-5464, and let's see how we can help you get to where you need to get to. Peace out. In Jesus Christ's name, have a good one.